Hello everyone, we are playing Civilization 2 today, one of the classic games of the series. For many old players this is actually the best Civilization game ever, although I personally believe that is mostly nostalgia from childhood, you know. I personally believe that among the Civilization games that had the old system with multiple units per tile and all of that, and big government changes and so on, Civilization 4 was the best one by far. It's still my favorite actually. But Civilization 2 is quite fun. It improves on everything that Civilization 1 had. It's a very similar game and you can use similar strategies, but Civilization 2 is better on pretty much everything. And it was the first Civilization game to have health points for units, which it was obviously a major improvement in combat, and of course all of the Civilization games that came afterwards kept the health points per units. So we're going to see more about this game. We are playing the multiplayer gold edition, which was the last one made. They made the AI more aggressive in this version, so diplomacy is not going to be very useful in this game, unfortunately. If you want to play a peaceful game for a scientific victory with 10 cities or some weird stuff like that, you probably want to play the basic game, because here diplomacy they will be angry with you all the time for no reason. Pretty much all of the leaders actually. In this case I don't mind, because for this video I want to play a conquest victory. I'm going to conquer the whole world. I'm going to try to make an early conquest. Maybe win the game before, I don't know, the year 1500 or something like that, and that should make for a faster game. And yeah, we don't care about diplomacy because we are going to be very aggressive ourselves. So let's start a new game. We are going to go with a normal size map. Deity difficulty, the hardest one. This was the first. In Civilization 1, Emperor was the toughest one, and now they added Deity, and Deity stayed there forever. We will get 7 civilizations for competition. Restless tribes as a barbarian activity, which is a standard. You can make them even more aggressive if you want, but I think this is fine. And I'm going to customize one little thing from the rules, which is I don't want eliminated players to restart. So what happens here is that if you eliminate a player very early, and we are going to be doing that a lot actually, in the standard rules a new civilization can appear in the middle of the game, or I don't know, let's say you eliminate someone in the year 1000, which could totally happen in a fast conquest game. A new civilization will appear, and they can appear in some corner of the map that might be very far from all of your units, and then you have to get a few units there just to conquer that city. And it basically makes the game longer without really adding any strategic changes or anything. The strategy is going to be the same. If you leave this on, it's going to be the same strategy I'm going to show here, but the game is just going to be longer and not particularly more fun. So I'm going to remove this one here, okay? But if you want, you can leave it on. We're going to play with a female leader. We can choose male or female. In this game, this was the only Civilization game where you could do this. And the reason why we're keeping it female is the next one. So, in these two columns we have civilizations that appeared in Civilization 1. Also the Japanese appeared in Civilization 1. But everyone else in this column did not appear in Civilization 1. They are new civilizations. All of them appeared again in future games, except for the Sioux. The Sioux never appeared again with this name. However, if you pick a male leader, the default name is Sitting Bull, and Sitting Bull did appear in Civilization 4. He appears as a leader of for some generic Native American civilization that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Here he appears as the leader of the Sioux, which makes a little bit more sense. I think Sitting Bull was a Lakota Sioux. However, if you pick a female leader for the Sioux, the name you will get by default is Sacagawea. You can edit your name here. We are not going to do it. We are going to leave the default name. And Sacagawea, I think in real life she was part of the Shoshone tribe, and the Shoshone appear as a tribe in Civilization 5. But Pocatello is the leader of the Shoshone in Civilization 5. Here in Civ 2 we have Sacagawea as the leader of the Sioux, even though I think she was, as I said, she was Shushuni. I don't think the Shushuni and the Sioux are the same thing at all, so I don't know why she appears as a Sioux here. Anyway, if you want to Google her, Sacagawea was not exactly a leader. She helped Lewis and Clark in their expedition to reach the Pacific, so she was a very important historical character, although not a leader. Just like Gandhi or Hannibal, they didn't actually lead their civilizations. You know, Gandhi was, let's say, charismatic leader, but not a political leader. He was not the president of India or anything like that. And Hannibal was a general, but they appear as leaders in this game, and just like that, Sacagawea appears as a leader as well. So we're going to say OK. We can select the city style: Bronze Age, classical like Roman style, Far East, or medieval castle. None of these are Native American styles, so it doesn't really matter what we pick. I'm going to go with medieval. Anyway, in this game we are going to just keep the cities very, very small, so it doesn't really matter. And we are the leader of the Sioux, and the most important thing here is, do we get any starting technologies? The answer is yes. Irrigation, mining and roads you always have at the beginning of this game, but we get alphabet. Alphabet you don't always get at the beginning of the game. You can start with 0 technologies, and that means your map is very good and you have a lot of rivers and nice stuff to expand. If you start with 1 technology, your map is not so great. You might not have rivers, or have just a very small river and not a lot of resources or something like that. And if you start with 2 or 3 technologies, that means your map is really, really bad. Maybe you are completely isolated, you have no rivers at all, something like that. So we are going to get here sort of a medium type of map. Not really great, but not super bad either, which I guess is fine for a generic strategy game. Not a super good map, but not a terrible one either. And we start with alphabet, which is fine because this technology is in our way to monarchy, and we want to get monarchy very, very early in the game. So that's it for the starting menu. We are going to play just a few turns and then we are going to stop. I just wanted to show you the starting menu at the beginning, and we started with let's say alphabet. Okay, good stuff. So we want our first city to be coastal. We have some resource here. This will give us some production, which is nice, and some food, which is not so nice, but it's okay, I guess. We don't want our cities to be very large in this game. We are going to keep them small. That's what you do when you play for conquest. Let's go here. Now, if you press Ctrl G, you have it here actually. Ctrl G shows the map grid. This city is coastal. If we get a city here, it's going to be coastal, so that's good. This guy will explore a little bit. Let's remove the grid. It's kind of ugly, to be honest. Okay, I think I'm going to just settle here. That is a good enough spot. We have the coast to explore the world. We have this for production, and more production over here, and a lot of grassland with shields, which are much better than the grassland without shield. So we start building a warrior. You always start building a warrior. We press enter here to finish the turn, and we are going to get a ceremonial burial on our way to monarchy. We absolutely need monarchy very, very early. You start with despotism as your default government, but monarchy is better in every sense. So the first step in this game, in every game you play of Civilization 2, the first step is going to monarchy. Okay, we get 50 gold, which is nice from that village. Okay, more coast. So I'm thinking about settling right here actually. That's 3 tiles away from my capital. We get some production from the forest, which is okay, and a coastal city, which is also okay. You know what, I'm just settling here. I could explore a little bit more. You don't need to settle like immediately, but you can do it. So okay, let's take a look here. Ooh, we got a buffalo here and a river. That's nice. That's good news. Okay, this guy is going to grow fast because we have 2 food. And we're going to get the warrior in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's fine. We can get a second warrior before building a settler and send this guy out to explore, because from that first village we didn't get a unit, a free unit. Usually you do get a free unit early on, and you can use that free unit to explore. And if you get a little bit lucky, that free unit is going to be a horseman, and you can explore much faster, which is great. Oops, I didn't use the river to move faster. That was silly of me. I'm moving with the arrows, by the way. It's much faster to move with the arrows in this game than to move with the mouse, so I recommend that you move always with the arrows. Code of laws also leads to monarchy, okay? So we are going towards monarchy with our research. See, the river in this game works as a road, so you can use it to move faster. That's why I'm just exploring the river. Also, we probably want to get a city near the river, because the river gives us more trade, and having more trade is always good. Let's get a settler. Okay, this guy here is doing fine. This little guy will stay down there. We are hitting enter to pass the turn. How many turns until I grow? Still a few. Let's take a look down here to see what we have. Okay, nothing else. So the continent pretty much ends down there. Okay, let's go back. We want, when we grow to size 2, we need to have a unit inside the city for happiness. And yeah, we absolutely need it. Let's change this to settler. If you change from one unit to another unit, you don't lose the shields. But if you change between units and buildings, then you do lose half of your shields. So that is something you have to keep in mind. They did that to remove a sort of a cheat, pretty much, that you could do in Civilization 1. Where you could buy barracks that were cheaper than units and then change to units, and it was just silly. Okay, we got a free unit, and it's a horseman. Yes, that's very good news. Now our horseman is going to explore. You always want this to happen to you, getting a free horseman. So, okay, that's all very good. Let's hit enter here. Let's play just a little bit more before we stop this game. So this is a more or less standard map. You can have harder maps without rivers. This one has river, not exactly in my starting location, but very, very close, and so that's pretty good. And yeah, so we are improving our throne room. In Civilization 1 you had the palace, in Civilization 2 you have the throne room, and that's very good. It's just a nice little detail that doesn't really affect the strategy in any way. Okay, so this guy is going to go north, and the reason for him going north is that we are going to expand towards the north. Code of laws. Okay, good. We cannot get monarchy, even though we have all of the technologies that are needed for monarchy. The game will always hide at least one technology from your options, so you can never streamline. You cannot always play the same streamline option for technologies. So we cannot get a very fast revolution. That's a shame. We're going to get bronze working, which leads to currency, and currency leads to trade. And we will want trade very, very fast. The caravans in this game are very important. If you play for science, they are even more important. But even if you play for conquest, oh, we got nothing, that's a shame. Even if you play for conquest, the caravans are going to be important. So keep that in mind. Okay, so this is good. Let's hit enter, and we got a settler. Okay, so initially you are going to be expanding a lot. So when you're playing with despotism, you can get up to 4 cities without increasing your general unhappiness. Once you swap to monarchy, you can actually get, oh, the Zulu. Okay, in monarchy I think you can get up to 6 cities without increasing your unhappiness, but it doesn't matter in this particular game because when you play for conquest you stay in monarchy all game long, so we're going to have many more than 6 cities. We're going to have a lot of them actually when the game is over, so we will have to deal with the unhappiness by keeping our cities very, very small. So we have the Zulu. Emperor Shek of the Zulus, we should speak with you, an emissary. In this game you don't actually speak to the leader directly. Civilization 2 is the only game in which you don't actually speak to the leader directly. You speak to an emissary. So, hello emissary, this is the leader, this is Shaka, but we are speaking to an emissary. So, okay. I do want horseback riding actually. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to trade bronze working. If you trade too much, then your next technologies are more expensive. And I already researched probably around half of bronze working, so it's not so good for me to trade it. Okay. We welcome peace. He's receptive. Can we share world maps right now? No? Okay. Later on we will share world maps when we want to conquer the Zulus. We want to know where their cities are, but for now we are not conquering anything. So okay, so because we have a peace treaty, I cannot have any units that are in the area of Zimbabwe. You can see here 1-2 tiles away from Zimbabwe. This is still Zimbabwe's area of control, so I'm going to get away. And we're going to get a city in this tile here, 1 north of that buffalo there. Okay, this guy can come back actually. And we're processing a turn. This guy can stay here in this city, this guy can go there. And the horseman is of course exploring a bit more. Next city, probably here. I probably want to settle towards the Zulu since we are going to attack them eventually. City here could be good. I want to use my cities to be bridges in the river, because we might not get bridge building actually all game long. We are going to get just a few technologies, the ones that are necessary to conquer the game, to conquer the world, and nothing else. Okay, let's get another settler, why not? Okay, let's go. Okay, let's micromanage things a little bit. We don't really need to get to site 3, so we could get our next settler a bit faster. Yeah, I think my next city is going to be this one actually. Okay, I don't want to move the warrior first, so what I'm going to do is wait. You cannot just skip turn and then move the unit again in this game, so you have to wait first, which is the W. Okay, just keep that in mind because it's going to be very useful for you. And the letter B for build city, Cedar Creek. Okay, sure, why not? And as you can see here, we get trade from the river. That's very nice. This city has a lot of very good tiles, and the forest here for more production, so that's very nice. Are we getting a second warrior here before the settler? I'm going to say yes, because I don't know how much it will take to grow to size 2. Also, what we're going to do here is this warrior belongs to Little Bighorn. We're going to do support from this city, which is the H letter. If you want to do it with a fast letter, is the H, and it's going to be supported by Cedar Creek now, because the cities are supporting units in this game, not the Empire. So keep that in mind. And yeah, let's go. So this fella will go here, I think. I cannot send them to go to a particular tile automatically, because that wasn't properly programmed in the times of Civilization 2, and the units will move in a very weird way. If you try to send them automatically, they will get lost. It's just silly. So you don't want to do that. You want to move them one by one. Take your sweet time and make sure you don't waste any movement points. Okay, So it looks like the continent is going to be over here. Okay, then. And our settler keeps going there to make a bridge, to make a city that is a bridge in that river. And also that's just a very good location in general. Okay, I tried to use my second movement point to go to the hills, but the hills require 2 movement points, and sometimes the game will not let you get there with just 1. Again, it didn't let me, so that was unfortunate. But sometimes it does, so it really depends on luck, which is, again, not very optimal, but that's how these old civilization games work. They fixed all of those things in by the time Civilization 4 appeared, so that's another reason why, in my opinion, Civ 4 is just the best one. Okay, that's not very good. Okay, if he attacks my city, we're going to have a problem. Let's hope he doesn't decide to break the treaty. Will we want yet another settler? Soon, but maybe we want this guy to grow to size 2 and stay in size 2, so we need 2 units to keep the happiness. Just in case. It's not useful actually, because he can get there in 1 turn. So if he wants to attack me, that's actually game over. I hope he respects the priest treaty, but this is multiplayer gold, so they can be very aggressive here. We need to start creating roads. We absolutely need to start creating roads. So let's do we want to get to size 6 already? No, we don't have monarchy yet. I don't want to have more than 4 cities yet. Okay, he respected the treaty, that's good. Yeah, for a little while they will respect that treaty, but it's not going to last for very much longer, so I need to think about trying to play this game very, very fast, so I can attack the Zulus very, very fast. The problem is you pretty much never want to start attacking before before elephants. So I'm going to, I normally wouldn't be making a phalanx there, but I just want to be ready for a betrayal from the Zulus, which could happen anytime. Okay, there you are, just annoying me. This guy doesn't have a phalanx. That could end up being a bit problematic. I need these 2 cities to be well defended. You know what? I know what I'm going to do. You are going to do this. And yeah, the moment, if you change between units, that's fine. And the moment we have a phalanx, we send it to Cedar Creek, and the warrior from Cedar Creek goes to Little Bighorn. We basically swap units, and we get better defense for Cedar Creek. That should work. Where did you go? Okay. I want you to not go towards Cedar Creek. You can block guys with your units in this game. So, okay, let's stay here just in case. And so, yeah, we are going to get a road there. The only improvement we want to be making in this game is roads. We pretty much are not going to make any other improvements at all. Let's do this. Let's get the phalanx a bit faster. Okay, maybe grow to size 2 and then get the phalanx a bit faster. Alright then, I think we can finally explore the east. Okay, Gundam Ninjas grew to size 2, so we can do this. I don't want to grow to size 3 here yet. We want to keep our cities very, very small. We can move a little bit more now because we are using our roads, just like we used the river before. Okay. Our fertile population exceeds 100,000 people. We have some room down there. Look at that. Look at this is going to be looking very nice very soon. And now finally we got monarchy. We took a while, but yeah, it's gonna happen. We're going to go currency and trade. That's the next thing. I'm beginning the revolution right now. So we could select monarchy immediately in one turn because we got lucky and this was an Oido year. So there are some years in this game in which you can make a revolution and get the new government immediately without going through anarchy. Just Google that concept, is OEDO, Oido years. And you will find a list in the forums with all of the years in which you can make a revolution without going through anarchy. I didn't remember this was an Oido year. I don't usually check it because I'm too lazy. So that was just lucky, really. But if you want to optimize your game, you want to actually check that out. Yeah, I actually prefer more shields instead of food. This guy is going to get a settler. Now that we have monarchy, we will want more cities, definitely. We want to expand towards the Zulus, but we might actually need to expand with the phalanx immediately. If we do that, we could get attacked immediately. Okay, you know what? Let's not do it. I'm going to put my next city down here because we have some nice land on this side. So we can get a nice city here, maybe with this forest for production. That's nice. Or even further away, but we don't need it to be further away, to be honest. I think here is good enough, 2 tiles away from Little Big Horn. We're going to be sharing tiles, but I don't care about that because these cities are not going to be more than size 3, maybe 4 later on, but that's about it. Here we don't have production apparently. Okay, we have no production whatsoever. Oh, wait a second, we have a forest. That's better. So maybe we can put a city here if this tile is acceptable. We're going to see about that. But yeah, this guy can go and build a new city. Let's go down there. Cool. So we're going to put a city here. Here. Maybe another city here. And then maybe we send some units and we expand towards the Zulu. We could put a city next to the whales. For example, whales are very, very good. They give you production and food in the same tile and commerce and, well, basically everything. Whales are like the best tiles you can get. So try to sell near whales. We are probably going to get a city here, and then from here we will launch the attack and just conquer all of the Zulu land with elephants or whatever. We'll see about that later in the next video. Until then, we will stop here and thank you very much for watching.